Hey there, internets. This is Kyle coming to you again with another episode on the My Business Launch Secrets YouTube channel, documenting my journey from $0 to $1 million and starting a new business, a new online-based business, from scratch, part-time, because I still have a day job, so that still keeps me pretty busy, as well as family and various other responsibilities that I have to attend to. Let's see, today still out of town at the moment, but have an early flight out tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to getting back home, seeing the family once again. That's the part that definitely sucks the most about traveling, is being away from the kids and my wife, but I'm sure everything will go smoothly tomorrow, and I'll be back there tomorrow afternoon sometime. I do have to wake up freaking early because it's an early flight, and I'm like an hour away from the airport at the moment, which is annoying as usual. But in any case, that's just the life. So in any case, today I'll still probably maybe try to do a little bit more work here this evening because it's a little bit early, but in terms of the business development plans, no kind of concrete actions, but I mean, I was definitely doing some more listening and researching, mostly from Russell Brunson's material podcast and some content that I have access to through one of the programs I bought here recently, talking about list building and lead magnets and this sort of thing. And you know, one thing that's interesting is there's kind of a bit of a dichotomy. I think dichotomy is the right word, in terms of, you know, how online marketers like Russell Brunson and other folks that sell their, you know, are looking to teach people how to, you know, do this whole gig is, you know, it's like, on one hand, they kind of like to say, or they do like to say, hey, you know, even if you're starting from scratch, you know, you just gotta like get in there and make an offer and just like get something out there in the world, and, you know, kind of tweak and adjust as you need to find out what the market really wants. What you get in the market, you only know what the market wants when you start to get people to pay you for whatever the service is. Or if nobody's paying you for it, then that probably means nobody really cares about it, so you should pick something else. So it's kind of like this, hey, you just got to like start running from the start and just, you know, you're going to fail, and that's okay. You kind of want to run a tight, lean ship and, you know, figure this stuff out on your own, but hey, you know, obviously we've got all these training things to help you along the way, etc. So there's that whole kind of, you know, move fast, you know, don't get bogged down sort of mentality. On the other hand, on the other side of that, though, is kind of this desire, which is kind of summarized well in Russell's Expert Secrets book, which I'm in the process of rereading now, which is that to have a sustainable business, you need to build a true kind of culture, or in other words, a true brand around whatever it is that you're selling, and not simply rely on, you know, quick wins in a sense of, you know, throwing out some offer, you know, get 1,000 sales, make $1 million, but then you don't know where to go from there, and then you flame out, and, you know, you don't have a real following in what you're doing, so it's not a business in a sense of being something that has continuity, you know, over the long term. It's just kind of, you know, quick cash sort of gigs, sort of one-off gigs, so to speak. And so again, they, you know, Russell and others encourage you to, you know, be a little bit more methodical in how you kind of of lay things out. Not to say that they encourage you to go slow, but just that, you should be thinking about these things as you're building up your business. And like Gary Vaynerchuk likes to talk about, you need to be putting out, he's very much of a brand marketer, in terms of putting out tons of content on all the various channels, right? And podcasting or blogging or whatever makes sense for you in order to, just to build up your brand identity, and that will ultimately attract people to your business over the long term. And to be a business, you need to have, a solid customer base who are buying things from you repeatedly, because there's only 3 ways to grow your business, I think, and probably forget all 3 of them, but either get new customers. Only 3 ways to grow your business: get new customers, get your customers to buy more things from you, or get your customers to buy maybe more expensive things. I kind of forget the last 2, but something about, with your existing customer base, basically you need them to get them to buy more often, and get them to buy things that are more expensive. Otherwise, increase your prices so that every sale is worth more, right? Generating more profit. Only 3 ways to grow your business. So again, those are all 3 based around building and sustaining a customer base, which again is what, like, Gary Vee and others' point of view is. That's why it's so critical to be getting out your content into the world, because that is what is going to ultimately build a culture around whatever the identity is of your business. And so from Russell Brunson's Expert Secrets book, this is kind of his, the 3 pillars of success in determining your movement. So you need to have an expert or a guide, or Russell calls it an attractive character, somebody who's kind of the face of the business, more or less, and the person who's probably generating a lot of the content. You need to have a new opportunity. So this is like having as opposed to having like an improvement opportunity, which is an important part, and there's a lot of detail behind that. And then number 3 is having a future-based cause, so leading people towards some place that that they want to be in the future, as opposed to just saying, I know you just have like an issue right now real quick, and I've got a quick, fix to help you right now to get whatever in shape or something like that. It's like future-based cause might be something more along the lines of, hey, don't you want to, get back to your weight that you were at in high school or something, and sustain that for the rest of your life? That's a future-based cause. And so, hey, in order to do that, I've got all these, weight loss products that will help you to get there, blah, blah, blah. So these are, again, are kind of the 3 pillars, which, again, the book goes into a lot of the detail behind each one of these 3. But the point being that this will ultimately take time to sort of build up this movement overall. And so that's one of the dichotomies that I was pondering today, I guess, just in terms of what I'm doing myself. And I do struggle back and forth with obviously wanting to have quick wins, wanting to have some influx of cash, because even though I'm not spending tons of money on this business, I have invested a fair bit. I mean, thousands of dollars on courses, trainings, whatever, conferences. So, that is an investment on my part that, I decided to make, but I don't like just spending money without, getting some kind of tangible return to it, and the only tangible return for trainings about how to start a business is to start the business, start making money, obviously. So again, that's where I kind of struggle some days of thinking, oh, just screw all this, big grand plan of generating this movement sort of thing, and let me just find somebody else's offer and do affiliate marketing types of things. But again, I know that's more of a short-term gain and not what I'm ultimately wanting to do, because ultimately I need something that is sustainable so I can quit my day job, which is really the ultimate goal with all this. I mean, at least the short-term goal. I certainly have longer-term goals beyond that. But in any case, the other dichotomy that I see in some of the teaching is this. On one hand, some people like to say, again, when you're starting out a business, you need to do everything yourself because you need to learn all the parts, all the pieces of the puzzle, so to speak, in terms of starting your business, running your business, marketing of the product, whatever the product is. I mean, well, number one, I guess, coming up with a product idea, and then learning how to do the marketing of the product, learning how to do the sales. That if you don't have those skills, some people say you really need to spend the time to learn those skills, because at some point when you figure that out and you start to become successful such that you can't hire people to start to pick up some of those things, the fact that you've now done those things, and even though you're not probably a level 10 player in, say, marketing, if you've only been doing it for your own business, for one business for a year or whatever it is, that doesn't make you an excellent marketer. It just means you figured it out for your own thing, right? But so then when you have the ability, the resources to go hire like a level 10 marketer, you will know more detailed what you need to be looking for, versus if you've never done it, if you have zero experience doing it and definitely no success in doing it, then you don't really know. I mean, how would you know when one guy's telling you one thing and somebody else is telling you something else that they think is a better way? You don't know because you've never done it. So that's kind of the real true bootstrapping sort of philosophy, I guess, in all this. On the other hand, people say, oh no, if you want to get I mean, I guess is true universally. If you want to move more quickly in your business, just identify what you think, what you're very good at, focus on that, and then immediately go out and hire other people to do the other things. There's this whole Who Not How book that's out there by Dan Sullivan, I think it is, that a lot of people reference, but again, they're usually coming from guys that are already multimillionaires, telling people oh yeah, I always think about I'm growing my business and I just think about who I need to do. I get an idea to do something, I just figure out who's the best person to help me execute that thing, and I go hire them, obviously, pay them tons of money, and they go build that thing out for me, and then I make a lot more money, right? And again, that's fine for if you've already got that experience, and obviously you have the resources to go hire the best people and get the best talent to do those types of things. But again, the problem you run into if you try to do that from day one, when you're probably again trying to limit your expenses in your business, that means you're going to not be able to afford top tier talent, and you're probably just going to pick up the cheapest person you can that says they know how to do whatever, online advertisements or whatever the thing is, and they'll probably suck real bad, and you'll probably spend a ton of money paying them to do things that are not going to help your business and don't generate you any more revenue, and then at some point you have to fire them, and it's just seems like a whole big headache, right? So yeah, that's just kind of something else I've picked up in listening to some of Russell's recent podcasts, because I mean, in the course of, I don't know, maybe 20 podcasts or something, which he doesn't record them every day, so that might be over the course of, I don't know, a month or 2 months or something. It's you'll hear him talk about the whole who not how thing. It's oh yeah, this is, you should definitely just go find the person that complements your skill set cut them in on your business or whatever, give them equity sort of thing, give them a cut of your sales if it's a sales guys or whatever the thing is, and that's how you have a successful business. And then I'll come back like the next week and be like, it's really important that you understand how to do these types of things, and you're going to fail early on, and that's fine, but you just have to get out there and you just got to do it. And you got to learn this stuff on your own, sort of deal. So it's kind of just an observation on my part. Don't think it really means anything per se. I don't think it changes my approach. I mean, I would certainly like to hire. I'm sure it sounds very cool to go hire somebody to do a lot of stuff that I'm trying to do. But see, the reason I don't want to hire anybody right now is because, again, I'm not even sure what the thing is that's going to get people interested enough to buy from me. And so it doesn't make sense for me to go try to find a salesperson when I can't even really explain to them what we want to sell. I mean, I have some ideas, but it's I'm going to hire a salesperson. I'm going to maybe try to get them to whatever, set up some funnels or whatever, or cold call people or however I wanted to do it to try to sell them something. And those people, and again, the market might say, I don't care about that thing. So now I've got a sales guy that's trying to sell a crappy product to people that don't want it. So he's not going to be successful, and I'm not going to be happy. He's not going to be happy, or she. And so it seems like I need to, again, sort of figure this out on my own in terms of what's the best fit for the product, the type of product I want to offer that I think I can fulfill on, and figure out at least the basic marketing sales strategy. And once I get X number of sales under my belt, then obviously I would probably be interested in getting somebody else to sorry, that stupid Mac thing keeps bouncing on me. That's one thing I hate about these stupid Mac icons. Anyway, so that's at least how I'm approaching things as of now. I mean, it is frankly overwhelming to think through everything that I'm trying to put together here, but I at least want to, again, make a good effort at putting out good content and establishing a brand which whose message may change over the course of time, but that's fine. But at least I need to start doing that now, so I can start to build some kind of online presence that people are looking at and are able to look at of who I am and what I'm all about, I guess. The other little nugget one of the recent podcasts before I got back to the hotel that Russell talked about was an idea for a product, because I think the thing that kind of trips me up about what is the product is that I'm concerned about, again, the big push is you need to have a course. See, just saying I got to have a course is a little bit overwhelming, because a course to me is because I've bought courses, and it's you get in there, there's 86 modules with 10 lessons each, or something. I mean, that's a little much, but there's tons of these little lessons, and the idea of having to map all that out and kind of come up with lesson plans basically, and then record that, and maybe have materials to go along with that. I mean, it's you could spend a year doing all that stuff, and it's I don't want to do that. And even if it was something people say, oh, well, don't do that up front. What you want to do, you just come up with a basic outline, and that's all you show people. You try to get the people to buy it, and if people buy it, then you start to generate the content. And if nobody buys it, then obviously that means nobody cares about it, so you should probably obviously come up with something else. But at least you haven't wasted the time coming up with the content. But even that, I don't even really want to do that right now, because again, I was still have to, even if I got people to buy the thing, I would still have to like generate this whole course. And so anyway, the thing Russell was talking about was, hey, just come up with like, one framework, come up with one presentation, like, do up a presentation, PowerPoint or whatever, and then, record yourself doing this presentation. Could be an hour-long thing or whatever, and use that as the basis for a product that you want to sell. And it would just be teaching one, small little piece probably of what you might want to do overall big picture, but at least that's something that you can have, and you can package that in multiple different ways, and in terms of, depending on, I guess, the pricing, how much value you want to sort of convey with that sort of thing. And he had some examples of people he knows that do that pretty often. So I thought that was a good idea. I guess it was something I just didn't really think about, because I see like what Russell does with ClickFunnels, which is that they kind of like give a lot of that kind of stuff out for free. But again, that's because that's not really their business, is selling those info products. Their business is selling the subscription to their software. So they just come up with a bunch of free info products to give you, to sort of hook you into their ecosystem, and thus get you on the hook for long-term continuity. So again, that's their business model, and obviously they've been doing it for years, so they've been able to generate tons of content, and they can use that for that purpose. But for somebody starting out like myself, probably makes sense to just focus on like one thing. And even on the plane ride over here, I came up with like kind of 3 specific frameworks that I had mapped out. So maybe I can focus on generating a presentation around each one of those, or maybe just pick 2. I think that's what I want to do a presentation, and then have those 2 products, put those 2 products out there, see which 2 or which one of those or both of them gets interest from people, and kind of go from there, I guess. So anyway, that's about all for now. Gotta hit the sack here because gotta get up super early. So hope you're all doing well. Keep on kicking ass, taking names. I'll see you next time. Peace.